Joining us in a CNBC exclusive now is the CEO of Philip Morris International, Andre Calantzopoulos. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
In New York City, where you've been for a couple of weeks. Let's start off with the deal talks. We learned about them on August 27th with a brief announcement, and they concluded without reaching an agreement, let's call it yesterday or the day prior.
Yep.
Why were you unable to reach an agreement with Altria for a deal?
Well, as you know, we already have a relationship with Altria because of the IQOS license for distribution in the U.S. And what we looked at is if there is a better way to maximize value for shareholders, looking at the strategic rationale in terms of additional revenue, synergies, cost synergies, obvious. In addition, more focused resources on both sides. But at the same time, clearly, like in any merger, you have to take into consideration the environment, shareholder sentiment, and I would say the effort required versus the priorities we have just now on the market. So we concluded that the best course of action is to end the discussions on the merger and focus instead on the forthcoming launch of IQOS and the partnership going forward.
My understanding had been, though, that there was a likelihood of a deal until this vaping crisis, if we can call it that, sort of began to become something of great significance. Is that the case? Do you think you would have reached an agreement were it not for the sudden banning of vaping products in various parts of both the U.S. and around the world? Yeah.
Look, it is an evolving environment just now in the U.S. And I think what we see is, first of all, to look at the bigger context, okay? All tobacco-containing products, including nicotine products, are regulated by the FDA, okay? We had an exception for a period of time for the e-vapor category. If I remember conversations, because they're small companies, small entrepreneurs, and it was kind of a heavy process. Now, I think the process is ongoing. It is a very emotional issue, as we know, because it involves use by teenagers and vaping. And this should be the priority by everybody to address, because this is a serious issue. And I think over time, if we take a 2-3 year horizon, after we will be gone with the e-vapor category through the pre-market tobacco product application process, say end of 21, 22, I think what we will see is a highly regulated, in terms of product, marketing, and other restrictions category. But I do believe that at the end, strong brands and companies that have size and are doing the right things will be the ones that will be the winners. Now, forecasting exactly how this is going to happen with high precision is a bit difficult today.
Everybody understands. Is that why, given the lack of the ability to forecast right now in this immediate moment,
I think there are many scenarios
to reach a deal with Altria?
No, that's not the case. I think we took everything into consideration. As I said, also investor sentiment. And I understand
Tell me about
our investors.
Investor sentiment, actually.
Yeah, our investors were not very supportive, and we have to take this into consideration.
Do you think they failed to understand sort of the strategic rationale for the deal? You weren't able to talk about it while you were talking.
So
people were talking to me about the ability to bring together these two organizations, invest more in R&D, innovation, using what is a window that is open now as a real opportunity. Did your shareholder base fail to fully appreciate why you wanted to do it?
Shareholders, of course, had their own opinions. We couldn't explain, but it doesn't matter. I think this is closed. The discussions have ended. For the foreseeable future, we can only focus on getting IQOS, which is the only product that has authorization by the FDA on the market. I think we have a corridor of opportunity here because there will be a lot of change in the vapor market. And I think that's where the companies are going to focus.
But I think, aren't you in some ways not in line with your own shareholder base? Are they either not understanding some of the weakness you see in the overall business or the need to move more aggressively, or are you failing to understand their concerns in some fashion?
Look, I think sometimes there is a little bit of confusion amongst shareholders in general about all this new category, which is understandable because the category is new. There is discussion about decline of cigarettes. And obviously, as the new categories emerge and consumers and smokers move from cigarettes to these alternatives that hopefully they will be proven to be better, we will have a decline in cigarettes. This is in the US, and this is what's happening internationally. If we take the example of Japan, for example, we have a 25% decline in the cigarette market because products that are heated tobacco products like IQOS and others, have convinced consumers to switch to these products. I think this is very good for public health. So this is what is going to happen. And however, who is going to be the winner and the loser is what shareholders are worried about. I think Altria and ourselves are very well positioned both in this market and internationally because we have the portfolio of products for, the new world. We have the first, as I said, that is approved by the FDA. And I think we are very well positioned to be the winners in the longer term, where we hope one day cigarettes will stop existing and better products will be used by people that will not otherwise switch. And that's how I see it. Now, I understand that anytime there is a transition in an industry, shareholders are worried and sometimes over-worried.